Today I did a look with the Safari palette from Natasha Denona and also some shimmers from her Lila palette, because I like a mix of both. The best of both worlds, mattes and shimmers. Because why not? Plus, I think on eyelids like this that start to have folds and wrinkles and you know what, it looks better not to have it all matte, everything. Because yeah, it just tends to look drier and you can see like every little thing. That's how I feel at least. And if there's some sheen, I'm talking about glitter, maybe that's the other way around too, but let's not judge the glitters. We judge the mattes. Well, so I tend to like it when you have some sheen and shimmer or some, you know, something that little bit takes off the all matte look. Mattes are great and I always use some mattes in my look as well. So, but mostly in the outer corner and up in the crease, and then here in the center, or from here I always use a sheen or shimmer or glitter or whatever. Hope you have a really good day and that you're still using all your colors. And thanks again for watching. So today first I will use this 24-hour lid primer from Smashbox, just a tiny bit. And then I will use these cream eyeshadows, which are pretty emollient, so yeah, that's why I prefer to have the other one under as well. I will try it that way today. It's the first time I try using both actually, so I will try it that way today. So I'm starting with this really pretty rose kind of, yeah, rosy kind of color, rosy pink. Okay, so I want it more into the inner corner, this color. Inner corner and up like that a bit. I'm just trying to dab it out with my finger because, ooh, I have a feeling this primer under, it's really making it stuck now. Maybe a bit too much even, you know? Yep, it feels like it's getting stuck like completely differently than, you know, when I use it by itself, like completely different. Let's see how it will work. Maybe it will be too drying even. Like, you know, for sure if you want to use those by themselves, this is the way to go. But I'm not so sure if it's going to work now when I'm using eyeshadows on top, or if it's going to be too, you know, dry. Let's see. So now I'm taking this other, more of a khaki kind of color. See the theme on my nails? Just the same brush. And now I'm going over, of course, where I already went inside with the pink by mistake, because I wanted this one in the outer corner, and a little bit to go in there with the pink like that, and also a bit maybe in the crease, not too much but a bit. I'm taking this one also under the eye, kind of out like that, and just dabbing it in like that. Not too much of a, you know, I don't think you need to do so much with those. They're pretty easy going, like that. Actually, this is like an eye look already. Of course, these are eyeshadows, I mean, come on. Just if you like, if you want to add more and you know, actually play around with makeup, then of course you don't stop here, like me. So this is the Safari palette from Natasha Denona. And I think I will go in with this pink color. Again, I'm using this one a lot. It's a very nice pink. In the crease, probably. At least in the beginning of the crease. Maybe not all over even. Let's see. I have to do it a little bit like this. At least to start with this part of the eye. And go pretty high and, you know, to the brow kind of thing, like that. I'm just taking this lighter color here with the same brush and just blending it a little bit in here to get some kind of gradient thing going. I will take a mix of the gray, light gray and the khaki together for the crease. I think that might work a bit better than just taking the khaki, because it's pretty much like a darker color than what I would use in the crease. I would just use the same brush. So becomes that kind of a color, a little bit more khaki, something like this, like that. So I will just straightly, lightly put it in here, but there is some green under, of course, and blend it in here. Because here anyways I want it to be a bit, you know, showing. Whereas here I don't want the dark color to show, because then it seems to be too much. If it goes like in a line like that and it's dark, it seems to be much like easier to look at. So one more time, I hope I get the same kind of mix for the other side. Now these cream eyeshadows that I have under, they have a slight bit sheen to them. So the end result is not completely matte, because these are the mattest of matte that I know. So the end result is a little bit, you know, with a slight sheen, but not, you know, anything drastic. If you want it to be matte, you know, it's still like matte. You can see that it's still matte, but it's not like maybe the really powdery matte kind of look, because that doesn't look good on this kind of folds and wrinkles on me. At least I don't like it, because the skin is so thin here, and it tends to be the best if I have kind of a satin going on here in this area. Then of course, you know, here I like my sheen and shimmer. There's no denying that. Why should I? Okay, so I think I will take now just this khaki and put it right in here. And under the eye at least a little bit, you know, not too much. So I'm using now real bristle brush, not synthetic. And the other one is actually also real bristles, this one from Ofra, and this one is from just from MaritMakeupManicure, one of their, you know, and now you can see that it's matte, you know, like that. It's a really pretty color actually, this one. And I'm taking it up like this, like to my, where it's really like folding hard like that. But I'm not taking it higher, because I do not want it to be like this kind of matte up here. That's just not good for me. I will try and get into all these places here though, because otherwise it might look a bit like there's missing some color over there. Like that. And I'm just slightly going over here in between with the brush that I used already, like kind of from above like that. Don't want to overblend these colors, because we all seen what happens when you overblend these, or blend them usual. Like you cannot blend these like normally. I don't think so. You have to be a bit more like blend less and softer, something like that. So a brush like this, pointed brush from Ofra, and it's also real bristles, and the same under the eye. On top of the cream eyeshadow now then. And I'm pulling it out a bit so I get it in a little bit bigger space over there. Otherwise it seems to disappear in this triangle thing here. Okay, so I actually put quite a lot like that, and I'm going to blend it out with another color later. But now I'm thinking, should I use this red from here maybe? Because it kind of really goes with the cream eyeshadow. Maybe I should try that. And then just use something shimmery in the middle of the lid or under here or something like that. Maybe I should try. Even though I'm not big on mattes in this area. But let's see. I'm just cleaning the same brush that I used for the green one. Just a tiny bit. And I'm grabbing this one here. Not saying names or anything, because I don't want to start like putting my glasses on and stuff like that all the time. So I'm starting maybe from here. Let's see. It's very strong though. I don't know. Do I want this one here? Let's try. We'll guide it up until there, something like that, and leave here a bit, you know, without anything. And then use something shiny over there probably. So something like this up here. And I will do the same one on the other eye. The same thing, I mean. Same thing. At least as much as I can, the same thing, you know, and my eyes are so different to each other. Like that. It's very strong looking. But, you know, I will just go with the same, like this also here under the eye. And the same thing, leave it a little bit in the middle and use something shiny in the middle, I think. Because, yeah, I want to, you know, leave it with the all matte eye. That's just not me. So, if you saw any of my videos, you would know that for sure. And I'm taking it pretty low down like that. If it's too much, I will just have to clean it up then. And of course I need something shiny also in the inner corner. I definitely don't want it too red in the inner corner, because then that would be really bad. Okay, to blend this one out, I'm taking the pink one and this one together, I think. The same thing that I did with these two here. So I'm using a color to blend out the other color. Let's hope it works. So something of a blend like that. Not too strong and not too light, hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, I think that will work. And I don't want to take it too much inside the eye now either, so I'm trying to stay on top of it here. Just blending. This hair is a little bit annoying, I have to say, even for me. I managed to get some of the cream eyeshadow up here, I think. Unbelievable. And of course, same thing here, hopefully the same kind of color mix. Need a bit of a challenge. Like that. And then it's really easy to blend out this color if you use just a little bit of a lighter color, I think at least. But now you see also here what I said about having all mattes here, because this looks really matte to me, and then you can really see every little wrinkle like that. That's how I feel. If it's not satin, it tends to show up more. I think so. Really like, yes. A little bit disturbing. Oh well. Soon I will just, you know. Okay. So this red close to my inner corner, it's a little bit scary, huh? I'm taking out just the pink. I want to see how this will blend here, because I think I took the other one too low down. But let's see if we can cover it a bit and make it less, maybe a little bit better. So I'm just using the pink. Going a little bit over this darker one. And anyway, I think I have to, you know, clean around here a bit more after, because I don't know. I will see. Maybe not. Here it looks like it's a little bit more low. But let's see how this will go. I really like this method of blending with these eyeshadows. Otherwise, they just seem to blend away, like, you know, like you've seen. I think if you're interested in this palette, you've seen it on YouTube already. It doesn't work like a usual palette does, or usual eyeshadow, let's say. It does blend away if you don't use another method a bit, blending it with a little bit of a lighter color, or the other way around, a little bit of a darker color, like a mix, to get closer to the, you know, gradient, you know, to get the gradient thing without actually blending too much with brushes, like really fluffy brushes like this. That's how I feel about them, at least. And of course, think that I also have a really good two bases actually. First the Smashbox 24 hour, and then this cream eyeshadow, which acts like a sticky, little bit of a sticky base. They're not too sticky, but they're pretty emollient, so yeah. Anyways, so then you really get them to stick to the skin like that, you know. And I think there's a kind of a pretty gradient like that, at least what I can see with my eye, you know. camera. I don't know what that's going to do. You better behave. Well, anyways, so I don't know if to take a little bit of the pink around the green too. Could that be nice? I will clean it up so it won't have the dark with it at least. And then I'm taking again this pink, and I will see if it goes here too, to, you know, continue a little bit of this, to blend it out with the pink instead of with the gray, you know, because the pink is really pretty. I'm really light with the brush, as you can see. I'm like, it's not my usual way of, you know, but I don't want too much of it. I really don't want too much of it. So just a tiniest bit of something, something. Like that. I hope it shows that there's just a tiny bit, and here where there's nothing, it's like that. I think I like this better, with a little bit of the pink in it. So I took out this lila palette from Natasha Denona as well, and I used this color here, just like that in the middle to begin with. And I still didn't blend it, I just, you know, used my fingers to dab it on like that. So I will do the same thing here, if I manage with my big fingers, and, you know, not to stick my fingers in front of the everything. All the way up like that to the, you know, to where I have the color actually. And I'm just trying to dab it in like that around, you know, with my finger actually. Maybe that will work the best. Not go in there trying to blend with all the colors again. Just want to make sure I don't have it, you know, leaving some empty spots over there with all the wrinkles. That's very red looking though. I think I need something less red, like really close to the lashes, or maybe a black. Maybe a black, just to line a little bit, because it starts to look very red close to my blue eyes, and then it's like, yes. So I will take the same color. Which one was it now? This one, here. Under the eye a tiny bit too. Just, I think I will use this brush that I used before. What's on it? Yeah, it has the pink kind of, so it goes together. I will just take some of that color here too, under the eye. Just to give a little bit of sheen here, because as I said, complete matte looks are not for me. I just don't enjoy having complete matte eye look. I don't think I ever did. But of course I like to have some matte, you know. I can't have everything like shiny and glitzy, because I'm using those things also on my cheeks, you know, so in the end it's like maybe a bit scary looking. Well, so something like that. Oh, I love those colors, but I do need some black with this. Okay, so I used this black from this Guerlain palette, and it's not very black. I feel it's kind of gray. It's very subtle, very subtle. I will also tight line and, you know, use a black kohl liner. So, kohl pencil, I mean. I will do that too. And just a tiny bit here too in the outer corner. Of course I could use this mineral eyeshadow sealant. It makes like the eyeshadow into an eyeliner if you want to. So just a drop of that one. I will try doing that again. I didn't do it for quite a while. I will do it again, why not? Okay, so I'm using this really light yellowy beige for the brow bone, and a little bit to blend out, you know, blend things out here. That, you know, this is a huge brush. This is the only thing I use this brush for. It's kind of a little bit like a joke. Let's face it, and a little bit around over there maybe. Something like this. Okay, for inner corner I thought to use this silver from Sisley, and a really small brush like that. So for the inner corner, trying to kind of dab it in. It's rather strong, as you can see, but it will definitely brighten up the inner corner. Trying to dab it in a bit with my finger, I think. Okay, so I think it's time to do all the usual other things, you know, the boring stuff, curl lashes and all those things, and be back for something fun on the skin. So foundation is on, and I used a too dark one from Guerlain. They all seem to be too dark on me. I mean, I always buy the lightest ones, and they probably don't have light enough for me here. And those that I have them a while already, and I used to buy too dark ones for me, I think. So I have to take it down on the neck. Anyways, I take it down because of the redness, but it really is too dark. I'm using this MAC Violet Effects Hyper Real Foundation Liquid Highlighter. Again, I really like those. So again, I just shake it, and then you have a blob. Just putting it on my clean hand, using the same brush I use for the under eye concealer. So there is the highlighter, and straight on after I will go with the damp sponge. Otherwise it goes and sits wherever you put it that moment, it stays over there. Whereas if you go in straightly, it becomes really nice like that. Like, now it's together with the concealer maybe, but you know, it gets a really nice sheen like that. And if I really cared about what it looks like and not just how much fun it is to add more stuff on, I would leave it like this, of course, because this is just a nice little subtle glow. But since I think we know by now, if you saw any of my videos, I'm not about being subtle with makeup, because that's where I have fun. So I think I want to use some of this Duo Glow product. It's not exactly a highlighter, and it's not exactly a blush, from this Daria palette from Natasha Denona. And yeah, I would just use one of those duo fibers. It is very pretty with this, right? There's some golden tones in this, so let's see how it will go. I didn't use this one a lot because it's pretty strong. Let's just try it. I will kind of... There you see what it looks like, kind of. Wow, it's like dabbing it on, it's kind of enough already. Seriously? Oh, that's a really pretty one. If you don't overdo it. I think in the beginning when I got this palette, just dabbing it on, it's like enough for this face of mine. Look at that. Because otherwise it gets very, very pink. But now you can actually see that it has some golden undertones in it, which is really pretty. Just like that. If I put more, it will be probably too much straightly down. So I probably won't. We'll just leave it like that. And I don't open this palette without using this one. That's just it. But I will try and use it with a really thin... This is like for artist work or something like that. Yes. But never mind. It's really good for using just the tiniest bit if you want it in a specific area. So I'm dipping it in over there, and then I'm putting it a little bit like just like that. I don't know, I'm probably fooling myself that this is like subtle way of doing it. So be it then. One of my favorite palettes, this one, together with the citrus. Of course, these palettes are made to be able to work with them, so there's a lot of product in each pen. Definitely. I will use these meteorites to buff the skin, and this is the lightest color in 01. And I'm just using a flat brush like this. So this one a bit all over. Now, of course, I didn't set the face with anything else, did I? I have to be a bit careful now then. I probably should have. How did I forget that? because I took a break. Well, this is not the softest brush ever, but it does pick up, you know, this powder really nicely between the pearls. So also the brushes that you sometimes get from Guerlain, they also pretty stiff when it's, you know, brushes for the pearls, for the meteorites. Yeah. Okay, taking it down here a bit, but I know, I feel really like this foundation is so dark and it makes everything look a bit funny. I have to say, I've been using this one from Elizabeth Arden a lot. It's like a peachy color with a little bit sheen like that. And it's so creamy on the lips, it's unbelievable. But of course, I don't know, this doesn't really go with the look. Or maybe it will actually go because there's some gold here. So it's Airy Mauve from Dior. Much more pink than the lips, so what I put on already. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with this very strong khaki cranberry look, I think you can call it. Those colors, they go so well together, and I think they're so nice on blue eyes. Yeah, why not on any color eyes, but I like it on blue eyes, like a bit more than on something else. I don't have any other color eyes, but anyway. Now when I'm looking at this, should I blend it a bit more? It doesn't look like it's really blended, does it? I don't know, between these, is it at all blended? I don't know how blended, does it need to be really, but a little bit more maybe. It doesn't seem like it's, maybe now it's a little bit better. And maybe the same between these two then. Like pulling the shimmer color in the matte a bit and the other way around. But I have to say, now one thing with this matte palette, when you use it this way, I don't see any problems with it. Like, of course, not everybody wants to go in with a base. Some people just want to use their eyeshadow on top of their eyelids. But I prefer to have a base, and today I used two bases. Like first the 24-hour from Smashbox, and then after that the cream eyeshadow, which is a little bit more emollient. And I think it blends well on it, and it stays well on it. Now I can splash water on this, like really like touching the lid and everything with water, and it won't come off because I tried that already. So that's pretty neat, I think. They really stay on. So the trick with these eyeshadows, the matte ones, is pretty much to get them to stay on. So for me this is working. Like, I know not everybody wants to play around with cream eyeshadows and, you know, bases all together, have a base for the eyeshadow, but I like doing it, and I like using something a bit more emollient for these more powdery eyeshadows, because they are, but they also very pigmented, so, you know, yeah. So for me this works, and I'm really happy it does, because I love the colors in this palette. So yeah, and I cleaned it a bit, and I forgot to go and blend under the eye. So I will do that now too then, without anything more on the brush, of course. That would be a bit overkill. First the red one on both sides maybe, and then the green side. Green and pink. I mean, I did put some pink here too, not so much, but tiny bit. Yeah, so that's kind of it. So thanks again for watching, and yeah, use all your colors and enjoy everything